we're going to talk about heart health and cancer prevention.
It's just not.
That's the two leading causes of death in the United States.
Heart and cancer.
Heart and cancer. Yep.
Well,
And both of them can be impacted. I don't know that we can prevent them,
will not be.
but both can be impacted greatly to reduce your chances just by your diet.
And now I believe the other sister's getting
And, most of the, at least in our country, everything is processed and packaged and fast food. And my husband's getting ready to go to Ireland in July. He and his brother are going to Ireland. I've been, but he's never been. And he's a little bit of a picky eater.
I'm hoping at the end of everything.
The background noise is making it hard for me to hear you.
You mean to talk up a little bit? Is that better?
Okay, that's better.
Well, my husband's going to Ireland in July.
I'm gonna have a chat with the Barton Bay lady.
Come on in, we'll get close.
And I don't know that
He's going to Ireland in July, and so I've been he's a little bit more of a picky eater than I am. So I've been trying to, give him ideas of what he can expect
I can bring my husband.
food-wise, for the week that he's going to be there.
But
Where we have to go seek organic food and grass-fed beef, and we have to make a special effort to find these things, and they cost more. I said that's the normal over there.
Yeah, so I can set it up.
So there's a big difference.
Smaller area. I can.
A lot of the products we see in our grocery store, it could be the same brand and the same product in United Kingdom, but it has different ingredients because they don't allow all the additives and crud that we allow in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It's very interesting.
So grocery shop in Canada if you have a chance.
Exactly, because they don't allow it. And for whatever reason, we think it's so great. And
This one just gets lost in the sauce. I mean, you
so
just
I
never know.
told him it's been about 30 years since I went to Ireland, but when I was there, the milkman still came
To leave.
and dropped milk off at the door every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what.
I would love to have that now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Do you have any black eggs to show me?
I don't. They haven't started laying yet for the spring.
Oh, okay.
They're still on strike for the winter.
It's the two kids.
I'm hoping that once we get over this cold spell,
Vivian's
we'll
family.
be back in laying mode.
All are hoping that.
Yeah. I'm hoping this is
She's more.
we'll have another little cold spell come May for blackberry winter, they call it. But
Got one that
I'm
wants it all.
hoping this is our last big one. So I should have some, hopefully within the next month or so.
Backup plan.
But keep reminding me if I don't remember to bring one upstairs to my office to show you.
Okay.
What happened?
They're
I
fun.
Consider for that.
But heart health and cancer prevention. A lot of the foods that we've talked about before, foods that are high in omega-3s, that's good for heart health.
I would love to
Oh,
lease
heart.
cleans until the library's available.
Mm-hmm.
No. It said it's not available for lease, just for sale. And I don't want to be buying up half a year.
And that would be like your flax seeds and salmon.
Do you know?
No, I don't know.
I'm sure it's a pretty penny.
Do you like sardines?
That's why I was saying to my husband, because he said, if we don't.
No.
They
They're too salty, aren't they?
can be. Sardines can be. You may be thinking of anchovies. Anchovies are really salty.
Oh, sardines. Really, I've never tasted them.
I don't see people buying like.
They're kind. I like them if they come in the little flat tin
Yeah.
by the tuna, and you can get them in water or oil or mustard. I like them every now and then, like on crackers. I'll eat them, but they're high in omega-3s. But if you don't like them, you don't like them.
Sold in how many years? It's been quite some time.
My husband won't touch them.
Well, maybe if I buy this building, maybe you'll be able to get an appraisal, right?
The soluble fiber foods that we've talked about. Remember, we talked about insoluble and soluble fiber.
Uh-huh.
The soluble fiber foods like oats,
That's why
oat bran,
back over
barley,
because
garbanzo beans, apples, pears, all those are good for heart health.
he even had it on the land contract.
Okay, would you mind saying that again?
So
Sure.
I called the realtor and
The
I
oats,
got
oat
10%.
bran, apples, barley, pears, all those foods that we talked about before that have insoluble fiber are good for heart health.
I'm not doing that. With all, everything that we had to put into the building to get it up and running and everything else, I just wasn't doing that. I'm sure once it's all worked out,
Bananas fall in that category.
or over it, then I would be able to do it that way again. But
Potatoes,
I wasn't giving him 16 down when he was
if you
here.
eat the skin.
But that was his idea, was that if there was a working business in here, the building would be more apt to sell.
What about popcorn?
And then,
Popcorn is insoluble fiber.
Oh.
If you
then the daughter said, well, you don't pay
pop it yourself, or do you get the bags like you put in the microwave?
No, I pop it myself.
Reynolds and breaded them and
Because you can pop it then like in your coconut oil.
of them at least.
Last night I did it in
multiple
olive oil.
It's ridiculous.
Okay.
They never put it in kind of.
I usually do mine in coconut oil. But same it's good fiber. As
Yeah.
long as you're not diabetic and the corn
Which I
upset
knew
your blood glucose.
with me because when Elgin went into the
I
hospital,
think popcorn is a very good fiber source.
I don't know how long we're gonna be able to stay.
That's
Okay.
usually our snack on Sunday afternoon.
It's yeah.
Well, the realtor
We
called.
can eat,
and
I
when
make 2 big bowls of popcorn. We both eat it.
Whoever ends up with the building is gonna want me to stay because it just is better.
Foods that are high in vitamin C,
Doing some wishful thinking because I've seen people pass away before and I've seen the mess that becomes. with
again, apples and pears would fall in that.
just say
Especially
later.
Yeah.
Citrus fruits, strawberries,
There's Reynolds.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
but there's so much work involved. Well, my husband
bell
was doing
peppers,
for just a little, $700 a month was
all
all
of those are good for heart health.
with Elgin. When Elgin passed, his sister and his daughter said, don't worry, we're gonna get you taken care of, no big deal.
Foods that are high in potassium,
And the one sister that left back to Arizona, let everything go to pot,
which
said,
would be potatoes,
because
if you eat the skin,
well, originally it was his business and I
avocados,
agree, why would I pay rent?
What?
avocados,
But I
Okay.
can't really say that anymore because I've invested in the equipment to make sure that no matter what happens,
raisins,
all I have to do is find a place to put it and we have a fitness.
sweet potatoes,
He says, my husband can keep up on the rentals, but she won't pay for any of the repairs. She didn't set him up an account at the
squash,
and I can stay in the
How
building.
can he do the rent or fix them up?
bananas,
And he pretty much washed his hands of it. And I started looking for another building. And then the other sister got involved and said, no, I'm going to take care of things the right way. We're going to get you taken care of. Just bear with me. So I'm willing to do
salmon. Salmon is high in potassium.
it. I'll see you next time. I gotta get her. I'm going to be late.
Okay.
I don't know that we've ever talked about salmon as being high in potassium before.
I don't think we have.
We've talked about the other things it's good for, but it is high in potassium too.
It's fine. I was hoping you had that job.
Any of your whole grains are going to be good for heart health. Vitamin E,
Because it's
which that's going to be fresh vegetables, whole grains,
a both
nuts.
down.
Sulfur, foods that have sulfur in them are good for heart health and for cancer prevention. And those would be like garlic, onions, leeks, chives, shallots, anything that's kind of in the onion family
Mm-hmm.
has sulfur in it. And so that's good for,
Heart.
yep, it's good for heart and for cancer. Egg yolks have sulfur in them as well. You know, when you boil an egg too long and it gets that gray,
Uh-huh.
that's because of the sulfur in it.
Oh,
That's what makes it do that. And that's what makes egg yolks kind of smell
yeah.
strong if you overcook them or
So
whatever.
if your water smells like that, like rotten eggs, is it the sulfur?
Yep. We call it Florida water. Because if you've ever visited Florida, that's what their water smells like.
Oh, wow.
If we go on vacation to Florida, we'd make sure we take bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not, I'm sure if you live there, you get used to it.
Yeah.
I go, but
Where do you go to do that?
I'm not so impressed by it.
everybody's cleared out.
Because you turn the tap on and
But
you get that smell. But that's what it is, it's sulfur
It's
in it.
sulfur.
hmm
supposed to be next week.
Which some sulfur is good for you.
Shut down.
It just doesn't necessarily smell good or taste good.
Mexico.
But we need a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Through,
Foods that are high in vitamin B,
Well, they're all backed up, see, at least.
whole grains, eggs, leafy greens,
Because
all those are good for heart and cancer.
numbered everything, because I kept worried, oh my God, I'll never get there, but it, supposed to be-
Zinc, foods that are high in zinc.
Yeah,
We found out yesterday my husband's a little bit low in zinc. We've got to up his zinc a little bit.
it's a Yukon. Change station.
That would be whole grains, eggs, and
Oh,
pumpkin seeds are good for
Yeah.
zinc.
they're so big in the front end, you can't tell how close you are.
Pumpkin seeds would be another good source for insoluble fiber. If you eat the ones that are still in the shell. I have my breakfast plate and I have pumpkin seeds.
I was gonna say, they would be good to snack on, wouldn't they?
That's what I usually get a bag of them, and that's my snack for the week. I'll grab a handful of those.
Uh-huh.
And so that gives me my fiber for the week. And then my zinc and such, but it keeps me full. So I have some on my breakfast plate here. My apple, my peanut butter, and my pumpkin.
Zinc is good for the heart.
Yep.
Okay.
Good for the heart and for cancer prevention.
From work, but I guess we don't have to be in a rush.
Vegetables that are high in beta carotene. You always hear that, carrots are good because they have beta carotene. So any of your orange vegetables are going to have beta carotene.
Squash or sweet potatoes or.
Squash, sweet potatoes, carrots, apricots, any of those. Orange bell peppers or red bell peppers, either one of those.
Oh.
Get ready for a 10
And then also leafy greens. They kind of
count.
don't fit the orange rule, but they have beta carotene in them as well.
Yeah. Bye, Barb. Very careful.
Yeah.
Bye.
Move to the next station and resume.
And then vegetables that are high in chlorophyll. And chlorophyll makes things green. So anything that's dark green. Spinach, turnip, greens, kale, mustard greens, your dark lettuces, anything like that. Those are both good for heart and cancer prevention.
Change stations now.
Now for specific cancers, there's specific foods. Like for bladder cancer, you're supposed to make sure you eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and drink plenty of water. Kind of flushes out the bladder. Breast cancer is olive oil and exercise.
Oh.
Change stations now.
Cervical cancer is folic acid, fruits and vegetables. So if you're eating citrus fruits and vegetables, you're getting folic acid in those. So that's for cervical. Colon cancer would be vegetables, particularly cruciferous vegetables. That would be your broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, that whole family. Calcium, whole wheat, and exercise. But think about colon cancer, you're going to need fiber is what's going to help prevent that, because you're keeping everything moving instead of sitting where it's going to ferment and become toxic in your body. Kidney cancer, fruits and vegetables, especially the orange and dark leafy greens. Mouth and throat and esophagus cancer, fruit and vegetables. Liver cancer, vegetables, especially the yellow and green ones.
Change station.
Lung cancer is fruits and vegetables. Ovarian cancer is green vegetables. Pancreatic cancer is fruits and vegetables, especially the green ones. Prostate cancer would be cooked tomatoes, soybeans, and flax seeds. And I've also heard that pumpkin seeds are good for prostate cancer as well. And then stomach cancer is fruits and vegetables, especially tomatoes. So there you go.
Especially,
You look puzzled.
what would you take about the same thing for a nervous stomach? Stress.
Station sound.
What do you mean by nervous stomach? Like, kind of like irritable bowel,
No.
or just get anxious kind of stomach?
Yeah.
I have to think on that one. Like, I'm trying to think more, is it brought on by like,
It's brought on by stress.
okay, that was gonna be my question, stress or, let me think on that one,
Okay.
because I'm not sure. I'm thinking the tomatoes and such might
Yeah.
upset it. It might be too acidic.
Irritated.
Because some, you know, like when you get a nervous stomach, the acidity gets off, and you know,
Yeah.
it can lead to the heartburn and acid reflux and stuff. Okay. You gave me my homework. I'm thinking off the top of my head is going to be like your whole grains, the things that are going to kind of sit and soothe, rather than acidic things like tomatoes and coffee. And
But yogurt,
Change
that would be
station sound.
processed food, wouldn't it?
it depends on the yogurt you buy. If you go get like the Dannon yogurt that has all the sugar and the fruit and stuff in it, I would stay clear of that, or any of them that have artificial sweeteners. If you find a brand that you like the texture. To me, texture is everything in yogurt. I'm very picky about my yogurt texture, and I like it really tangy. But if you will find a brand that is just yogurt, that there's no added whatevers to it,
Oh,
then you can add your own berries and
yeah.
fruit, you know, and flavor it. If you wanted a little sweeter, you could add a little bit of honey, and that would be perfectly fine. That wouldn't be a processed.
Change station sound.
I mean, yes, they have taken the milk and they've heated it very slowly to get it to make the yogurt. But other than the yogurt culture, there's no additives to it or anything. So that would be a very good thing to do. That would be calming to your stomach
Okay.
because it's going to give you good probiotics, which is going to kind of help your stomach stay on
Okay.
an even.
Change station
Just
sound.
watch for the ones that have the sugar or artificial sweeteners, the fruit already in it. I wouldn't get ones that have thickeners in it, where they've artificially thickened it.
Oh,
So you just kind of have to figure out what brand is available up there that doesn't have all that gunk.
okay.
I mean, I could give you brands that we have down here, but I don't know that you would have, that would be available. You'd be running around.
Now, like for those water test strips that you showed me
Uh-huh.
for your aquarium, and you said you got them at Walmart.
Mm-hmm. In the pet section where all the aquarium stuff is.
Find them.
Couldn't find them? Oh, no.
I found some test strips, but they were in a cardboard envelope type thing. And they only had about 7 of them. 7 strips,
Mm-hmm.
and they were about $6.
Oh, wow. That's more expensive than the ones I got.
Yeah. But I finally got them at Myers.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have guessed they would have been at Myers.
Well, do you have Myers down there?
No, but I've heard of them.
Okay. I think it's only a Michigan thing. I don't know.
I think it's up north. I think more of the north and Midwest kind of states have Myers.
Oh,
We don't have them down here.
okay.
But that's funny that that's where you found them.
Yeah.
Did you test your water?
Yes, I did. I am going to do it again. It seems like my tap water is fine for alkaline,
Very good.
which is good.
Very good. Keep you from having to
I
spend
haven't.
money on other water.
I'm going to test. My daughter has well water. I'm going to test that and see what comes up there. 'Cause
That'll be interesting to see the difference.
Yeah, she thinks her water is better than my water. She won't
See,
drink.
we have well water too.
Oh, do you?
And it's the only time my kids will drink water is when they're at home
Oh.
because they like our water.
Oh.
My oldest son had a bunch of friends up and he was pushing water on them. Drink the water, drink the water. It's good mountain water. And they're like, no, we don't like water. And he goes, no, this isn't like normal water. This is good water.
Ah.
No, we're spoiled too. We have good well water.
Well, good.
But that'll be interesting to see if you can tell a difference in the well water and the tap water
Mm-hmm.
and the alkalinity.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be neat. So what have you got in store for the afternoon?
Change station sound.
Are you talking to the one man?
To what? No, I'm not talking to Shauna.
Okay.
Shauna she's at a meeting. Excuse me. She's
You're
at
fine.
somewhere.
Oh,
And she said
okay.
that she would be back. She's supposed to end at 11, and she was hoping to be back before then.
Thank you.
Okay.
Change station sound.
Okay, I'm back. What was let's see, what am I going to do this afternoon?
Have you any big plans?
Well, tonight we have, at church, we have a soup supper, and then afterwards, today's Ash Wednesday, we're going to have worship service.
Do you have supper every Wednesday night or just because it's Ash
Just
Wednesday?
Just during Lent.
Okay. And at the church I went to years ago, we had supper every Wednesday night. We cooked for the church.
Mm.
We'd start at lunchtime and start cooking.
Well, I'm making one of the soups.
What are you gonna make?
I made a stuffed green pepper soup.
That sounds good.
It's got lots of vitamin C in it
Yep.
and tomatoes. So it's got a lot of vitamin C.
Change stations
It
now.
sounds good.
It is good. It is good. Oh, I was going to ask you about venison.
It's a very good red meat for you. Very lean.
Yeah, it is grass-fed.
Exactly.
Yeah, we know that unless it's from a swamp, then oh, I don't like it from a swamp.
Change stations.
But do you have venison down there?
We do. We have a lot of hunters down here. I'm not a big fan of the flavor, and my husband's not a hunter, and I don't really have anybody,
Well,
that
this
provide me any.
this tastes just like beef. I think because we have a lot of farms around and they eat a lot of corn.
They come along and scavenge
Stations now.
Mm-hmm.
from the cornfields and that kind of thing. Well, that would make sense. And I've heard too, that how it's processed, it has to be kind of aged a little bit. That kind of takes away that gamey flavor as well.
I don't have the gamey flavor. I
Do
don't.
you have somebody that provides you venison, or do you?
My son-in-law.
Change stations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, we have lots of people around here that as soon as the hunting season opens, they're trying to fill up their freezer
Mm-hmm.
for the winter.
Yeah.
It just isn't something that we've ever done. My grandmother always fixed venison, but she also fixed squirrel too. So I was always a little skeptical of what I would do to her house.
No, don't want squirrel. And I don't like wild turkey.
Well, I've heard that wild turkey, nothing is good except the breast.
Yeah. Yeah.
The legs are not.
Anything wild, any kind of wild game, that you hunt and all is going to be stronger flavored than what we buy at this grocery store.
Change stations now.
And it's going to be much leaner. It's not going to have the fat content. So when you cook it, it's going to dry out more quickly. You have to be more careful when you cook it. But it would be very good for you.
Okay, thank you.
So
Now I don't feel so guilty eating it.
oh no, it's very good for you. Don't feel guilty at all.
Once in a while I'll eat some beef or pork, but mostly it's venison, chicken, and fish.
Perfect. I wouldn't feel guilty at all.
Okay.
You're doing great. I didn't start my broccoli seeds yet.
Oh, you haven't? I've ordered mine. I've tried to buy them in the store and they don't have them. Not the seed.
Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't started mine yet.
Now.
That's on my to-do list for this week.
Okay.
Well, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to grow them in.
Oh.
And what I ended up deciding on, I had gotten a carton of blackberries at the grocery store, and it's not real thick. It's not deep like a strawberry or blueberry container.
Right.
And I think I'm going to put paper towels on the bottom and put my broccoli seeds on that and keep them moist. And then I can close the lid and it'll be like a little greenhouse.
Get ready for 10 seconds.
That's my thought anyway. We'll see how it works.
Okay.
1, count.
That'll be my experiment.
Sounds good. Yeah. I'm already starting to plan my raised garden for outside.
Stop. Move to the
I
next
haven't got
station.
it built yet, but I'm planning on it.
I have mine planned, and usually by now I have it tilled up and I have things planted, you know, my greens and potatoes and all that kind, but it's just been too rainy. I can't till it.
Oh.
I would just have big mud clumps.
Mhm.
So I've gotten it as ready as I can until I can till it, and then I'll be ready to go. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll dry out one day.
Who tills it, you or your husband?
I do. He bought me a little tiller that I can manage
Okay.
because I moved because of the bear. I think I told you about the bear that got in my strawberry patch.
Yeah, I think you did.
I used to keep my strawberry patch, and I had a big garden because we have about 7 acres of field.
Okay.
And I got tired of fighting the bear and the raccoons and the deer
Uh-huh.
in my garden. I felt like all I was doing was planting them a buffet. So he moved my strawberry patch up to the front yard for me, and then he built me, it's not really a raised bed, it's just kind of enclosed, and then I just till inside there because it's yard around it, so
Uh-huh.
it gives him a barrier to mow against. But he bought me a little tiller that I can crank it by myself, and I can handle it all on my own, and it's plenty big enough for my spot there in the yard to till it all up. So
Mhm.
he says that he won't do it. He's afraid he'll run over something he's not supposed to,
Well, that's that. Yeah.
and that he doesn't want to get in trouble. Well, all righty, Miss Connie. You have a good afternoon.
Well, you too.
Enjoy your soup supper and service tonight.
Thank you.
Pray for spring.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Uh-uh.
Pray for spring.
Oh, absolutely. I thought we had it, and then it went away.
Yeah, now it's, oh boy. But, oh, and this Sunday, I don't know if you changed your clock or not.
Yep, we do.
Okay, we do too,
Yep, we spring forward Sunday,
right? We
which
lose.
is good, which means I don't have to put the ducks up at 5 o'clock at night anymore. They're happy about that. They love.
How many ducks do you have?
I have 10 right now.
10.
The most I've had at one time was 16. Then
And
the
they
fox eliminated a
lay
few.
the black eggs?
I have 2 that lay black eggs.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I have 2 that lay black eggs. I have 6 girls. I have 6 layers. 2 that lay the black ones. One of my girls, hers are kind of a real pale, sometimes they're almost a pale green,
Oh, that's pretty.
and it's real pale, and you really can't even tell it is green until you lay them side by side.
Okay.
And then the other ones are kind of an off-white beige.
Uh-huh. The ones I have are kind of a beige. A real light beige,
Mm-hmm.
off-white. Okay. We'll see you next Wednesday, and maybe you can, what were you gonna check on? I forgot.
Nervous, what to eat for a nervous stomach.
Okay, yes, that. You wrote it down, I did.
I wrote it down on my little pad right here.
Okay,
So I'm good. Well, you have a good one.
thank you.
Thank you. Be careful.